I found Mac Jones' performance and histrionics embarrassing yesterday. And the reason I found it embarrassing was because the lack of self-awareness that this young player is showing is mortifying. The Patriots attempted early this year to take the training wheels off of Mac Jones in the passing offense, to let him throw downfield. And once the training wheels came off, he drove the bike straight into a sewage ditch, and now he's angry they won't let him ride by himself. And I can prove it to you.
Yeah, go ahead.
So here's Mac Jones' passing chart from week 3. Week 3. Red is bad, America. Red are interceptions. But you see a lot downfield. Some green. White is incomplete. Green is complete. Red is interceptions. He got hurt.
Yeah.
When he came back, this was what the passing chart looked like. We can show it to you. See all short, and then the one deep is red once again. Okay. So then let's show you last night's passing chart. Oh, yeah. So once again, they are making it be close into the line of scrimmage. Because they saw last year, we can show you for the whole season what he did last year. Again, green is good, red is bad. And this year, it looks a little better. We can show it to you, but it's the same thing. The reason there's a green in the deep middle is because it's like 8 total passes.
Yeah, looks good to me.
He can't throw the ball deep without turning the ball over. And then he is whining during the game that they're not letting him throw the ball deep. And so I find, and I know you're as frustrated as I am annoyed. Because, Wildes, your tweets, while you don't have that many followers on Twitter, I'm one of them.
Yeah.
And so I see them, and you get angry and upset.
That's might be true. While I'm watching the game.
Yes.
But then I settle down, and I live with what we've got. In the Patriots offense right now, you've seen the movie The Martian, correct?
Yeah, of course.
New England Patriots fan, Matt Damon?
Yeah.
I am Matt Damon.
All you can eat is potatoes?
And the Patriots offense is potatoes.
Okay.
Kind of gross, very boring, but guess what? Keeps us alive. It gets the job done. And Dusty made this graphic. Now, granted, these are 3 games with less than 5 air yards. Guess what? In the bottom there, Broussard, Patriots 3-0 in those games. So look, is it the most
like that?
Does Matt Damon like those gosh darn potatoes that he grew out of his own fecal matter? No. Did they keep him alive? Yes.
Right, but
we're in the playoffs.
Right, of course. Let me just respond real quick. Which is why I don't think that the Patriots coaching staff should get quite as much flack as the quarterback should, Brew. Because to take Wilde's tortured analogy further, Matt Damon was on a foreign planet. It was all he could do. Well, the football version of that is we have a noodle-armed, somewhat inaccurate quarterback. It's all we can do. So everyone that's like, when Vance Joseph comes out and says they call plays like they're coordinated by a defensive guy and like they don't have a good quarterback.
Okay.
Because early in the season, they tried to open it up. And what happened? You were giving him flashcards on who to throw to and who not to throw to.
Well, see, that's where I'm going to support Wild.
Thank you, bro.
Growing pains.
National treasure. I'm
not going to write off what they tried to do at the beginning of the season because he has some tough weeks. Okay? Because I think, and I've always thought the baby goat thing was just kind of a cute gimmick that you threw out there. I never really bought into it. Yeah, I've never bought into it. But I do think they are doing a major disservice to your guy, Matt Jones.
Thank you.
And I've said this, Nick, you know this, as soon as it became evident that Matt Patricia and Joe Judge were going to handle the offense, I was like, this is a disaster. Matt Jones had a good year last year, Nick.
Up until the moment.
Look, when they only threw the ball 3 times, you are right that something went haywire after
Won that game as well.
But Mac Jones, look, he beat out Cam Newton. All right, he took over the leadership of that team. He led them to the playoffs. And now they put him in second year is critical, and they put him in the hands of a defensive coach. This is not high school football where any coach can coach any position. They should put him in the hands of an offensive expert. And I bet you, Nick, he plays much better. And they got a great defense, a really good defense.
Yeah.
And if you had a better offensive scheme, would be much more dangerous than they are.
Here's my point. Coach Mangini, when he's here, talks to us about this all the time. Belichick, do we agree that Belichick is a football genius? That Belichick knows, even though he's a defensive guy, knows about offense and knows, most importantly, what you need to do to win games.
Yes.
Belichick is signing off on all of this. And he knows there's the dichotomy between what the Patriots offense looked like in the couple games with Bailey Zappi and what it's looked like with Mac Jones since he came back is stunning. And it's because one guy you could trust to throw the ball down the field. And I know you think it's overwrought, but it was the turning point of this guy's young career. Can we show it, the 3-pass game? Up until that moment, he looked like Offensive Rookie of the Year. He looked like, with respect to the Prince that was promised, I think we can show it, the splits between his stats. With respect to Trevor Lawrence, he looked like the best quarterback from his draft class. And since then, he's been a bad player. Those are the numbers of a bad player. And so you can say
a little bit
that it didn't wreck his confidence. Well, then the first dozen games are just an illusion, and that's who he is. But something happened that blustery night in Buffalo. Since then, your team's below 500. He's thrown as many picks as interceptions. They've lost more games than they've won, and he's been a bottom 10 passer rating guy.
I think those are all valid points, except that he's over 500, he's the best quarterback in the draft class, and we went to the Pro Bowl, and we're in the playoffs. And if the playoffs started today, guess who we would be playing? Well, my. Oh, we're headed to Arrowhead. Now, it would be weird if the playoffs started today because it's Tuesday in December, but if it did, the heir apparent to the best quarterback of all time up against Patrick Mahomes. Now, Nick, would you be worried if you had to face America's team in Arrowhead? Oh, you would be a little worried. I know you're going to be like, I'm
the
Mr.
Cowboys
Consistency.
A-game's pretty
I'm
good.
never worried.
It would be
That's from the
and
70s.
while it is the Arrowhead Invitational, it'd be
century.
odd for the Cowboys to be playing the Chiefs at Arrowhead in the postseason. But if you're talking about the Patriots, of all the potential 7 seeds, if the Chiefs are the 2 seed, which I don't believe they will be, of all the potential 7 seeds, nothing would be better than facing the Patriots.
For our show, it would be.
It would be similar, a wise man last year, people laughed at him, and it was a member of sports media, I can't quite remember because it's so smart, I wish I could give him credit, coined a new phrase.
What was it?
It was better than a bye.
That was you.
And it was me, that's right. And it was about
And I was
playing
laughing.
another team with a very limited quarterback, a supposedly good defense, a Hall of Fame coach when the Chiefs were the 2 seed. And I called playing the Steelers better than a bye. And you guys all laughed, and then I think that game started 35-3 or something like that.
That was a solid take.
And so, but I also, Brew, right now I want to ask you this, Brew. Do you think the Patriots are making the playoffs? Because I do not. Football Outsiders does not.
Well, let's just
Well, no, I'm
bow
just
down
saying.
to the altar of
if
Football
gun to
Outsiders.
my head, Wildes, no.
Of course not.
No.
What, you don't think we're beating the Raiders?
Even
We're
if you
staying
beat the
out
Raiders.
in Arizona.
Even
You're
if
not
you,
making the playoffs.
Vegas, Cincy, Miami, at Buffalo is your final 4. How many do you think you need to win? You're 7-6. I think you got to go 3-1.
Okay, sure.
Do you think you can go
Buffalo,
3-1?
Cincy?
Yeah.
With Vegas, Cincy, Miami, and
Vegas,
Buffalo.
we win. Miami in the cold, they had the heaters on in Los Angeles. So you think they're going to do well in Foxborough in December? I don't. Now, Josh Allen, if you watch this program, he's like a roller coaster. I just need to get him on the downward swing, and I'd be okay. Can I show you something that you should be a little bit worried about, Brew? And you might like this too. Because although Matt Patricia, you can bang on Matt Patricia all you want, he doesn't play defense. Probably should organize the defense, but he doesn't. Here are our big defensive guys.
Oh,
my
no, they can
goodness,
ball.
it's Josh and Judon.
I'm with you.
And look at that little line I had Josh, add under there. Mahomes under pressure. Not great. So who is the most dynamic duo in the entire NFL? Well, it's Mr. Red Sleeves himself, Matthew Judon. So if we started getting after Patrick Mahomes, add in something weird things happen at the Arrowhead, just saying you should be a little bit nervous. A little bit nervous.
Excellent graphic.
That's all Josh.
I didn't know Mahomes struggled under pressure like that.
Every quarterback in the league struggles under pressure. That's why you try to
And those
create
numbers
pressure.
were pretty low.
So
Excellent.
It would be for Brew. Because you listen, you're such a flip-flopper these days. I'm not
Flip-flopper.
certain.
I'm an analyst.
Listen,
been on
I'm not
Things
certain.
change.
But I know, like, sometimes you take really embarrassing shots at Mahomes, and sometimes you say he's the best player you've ever seen.
He
So
is.
I'm not certain.
Best quarterback.
But just for a moment, if you wake up on the side of the bed where you like Mahomes and the Chiefs, I'm not sure if that's today. Jets, Chargers, Dolphins, Ravens, I would say, are the most likely teams to be the 7 seed. I know the Ravens currently leading the division with Lamar's injury, assume Cincinnati gets it, and the Patriots.
Yeah.
If you were rooting for the Chiefs, what's your number one draft pick with a bullet to play in the first round of the playoffs?
I'm with you. I am with you in that. Look, I'm not with the better than a bye. That's a great phrase. Keep using it.
Yeah.
It's not accurate.
Well, it was last year.
But
it would be this year.
Well, the problem is in a bye, you never risk injury.
Yeah, but
you never have a fluky
rust.
thing possibly
It's actually
happening.
better than a bye.
Yeah,
Right. It's better than a bye.
better.
It's better than a
It's like
bye.
workout.
You never know. You just never know. But no, look, but you mentioned it. Buffalo, Kansas City, Cincinnati, Miami, Baltimore, the Chargers, and the Titans. Those are teams I would
What about the Jets?
much more afraid
I would
of
rather
than
play the Patriots than the Jets. The Jets defense scares me a hell of a lot more than the Patriots defense does, and Mike White scares me a hell of a lot more than Mac Jones.
I think I'm with Wildes on the Patriots defense. Now the Jets got a good one too, but I'm with him on the Patriots defense. But no, Wildes, you're not scared.
But you're also not making the playoffs.
If you guys somehow get in, there is no one scared of you.
Right?
No.
Incorrect. Moving on to Kyler Murray. The other news, this is kind of bad scene in Arizona. Kyler tears his ACL. He's done for this year and some of next year. Nick, where does this leave the Cardinals franchise?
I mean, in shambles.
It's not good.
All right, let me paint the one possible silver lining briefly here. I think there have been very fair and increasingly loud criticisms of Kyler Murray's leadership style, personality, and kind of what people have called a me nature, okay? There is a chance that suffering this type of injury, having this moment, that when he comes back, that part of him as a quarterback, as a leader, is improved. That this is the first real devastation of his sports life, and that he actually grows from it. So that's if we're trying to find a silver lining, that's it. Everything else is a disaster. He's way undersized. Maybe he gets all of his athleticism back. Maybe he doesn't.
It's another whole year.
If he doesn't, then he's ruined. You can't be that size and just a good athlete. You've got to be the best athlete. His rookie contract window is gone now. Last year, even though he signed the new deal, next year, even though he signed the new deal, Brew, he was still going to be cheap. When do we think he's going to play again? I don't know, Halloween, something like that. And so he's $51 million against the cap in 2024, which is the next season that he will start the season. It's a disaster for the team that has already had a disastrous season.
Well, I was saying when he started demanding a new contract, I felt like, well, this is way too soon. I wouldn't pay him. Eventually, I felt like, you know what, if you're going to pay him anyway, you might as well do it now so it's cheaper. But this is a big part of why he wanted that contract. Yep. He won in that regard, right?
Yeah.
He's got his, $160 million guaranteed regardless, so he won in that regard. But I'm with you, Nick, and I mean, I feel like you stole my notes. Like his leadership,
Great mind.
his likability, his study habits, and even his overall ability has all been in question. And what Kyler Murray needs to do, hopefully he's watching this, look in the mirror. Do some soul searching. It is not over for him. LeBron obviously was never a bad guy that wasn't likable. But I'm telling you, after the 2011 finals, when you talk to LeBron, and I've talked to him and other guys around him about this, what they say is he became a better person. That's the first thing they say. Not he worked on this in his game, he worked on that. He became a better person, whatever that meant, because like I said, he wasn't a bad guy. But that's what Kyler needs to do. Look in the mirror, do some soul searching, say, man, everybody was saying this about me. It can't just be everybody's wrong. And so hopefully if he does that, Nick, I still believe he could be a franchise quarterback. But he's got to change.
Quickly, Cliff Kingsbury keeps his job this year or no?
No. Okay. I don't think he's fired before the end of the year, but I think at the end of the season. And by the way, that contract, that quarterback, and now that injury, how attractive is that job? If it becomes open is a real question.
We're talking Mahomes versus Josh Allen. Who's going to win the AFC?
Wow. The Bengals. A lot of disrespect.
Well, maybe.
A lot of disrespect there. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.